Plantation life, Galliffet, and the Haitian Revolution. In the late 18th century, the Galliffet plantations in the French colony of Saint-Domingue, present-day Haiti, stood amongst the most profitable and most violent sugar estates in the Atlantic slave economy. Owned by Marquis de Galliffet, an absentee French aristocrat, the complex included three large sugar plantations in Petite-Ann's and two coffee plantations in the Grand Riviera. In the exceptionally fertile northern plain, more than 1,000 enslaved Africans labored across these holdings, converting their bodies and lives into wealth so immense that Saint-Domingue generated nearly half of the world's sugar and coffee exports on the eve of the Haitian Revolution. Sugar slavery in Saint-Domingue was designed on the premises that enslaved people were expendable. Work began before dawn when a shell horn blew, bell or lashes awoke the enslaved between 3 and 4 in the morning. Overseers assembled the field gangs in the dark. Nearly every adult capable of moving marched into the cane rows. The strongest formed the first gang, which cut bundles and hauled canes at a forced pace set by mounted supervisors. The second gang performed auxiliary but still punishing labor, hauling water, clearing bushes or weeds, while the third gang comprised of children, elderly, and those who were already injured. Food was meager and consumed standing in the fields. Talking was restricted, and silence ensured speed. Dawn did not soften these conditions. As the sun rose, the combatation of heat, insects, gashes from cane knives, dehydration, malaria, or dysentery infested the day. Later, labor rarely stopped except for a short, revocable break. By midday, a ration of coarse provision, saltfish, plantain, cornmeal provided fuel, not relief. The cycle continued until dusk, regardless of pain, pregnancy, or illness. Yet in the sugar production, dusk was not an endpoint but a transition. Because cane rot rapidly after cutting, enslaved workers were forced into night shifts in small mills and boiling houses, where they fed canes into large rollers that crushed hands and arms, and tend to open vats of boiling soups in suffocating heat. Grinding seasons produce 18 to 20-hour workdays, reducing sleep to merely hours on dirt floors or wooden planks. After returning to their quarters, often after 10 or 11 at night, the enslaved still had to cook rations, tend to infants, or cultivate tiny nighttime provision plots just to survive. Torture framed the system. Floggings were public and routine. Iron collars, stocks, mutilation, and isolation were used to enforce speed and obedience. Runaways were captured, beaten, or executed publicly to terrorize the living. Planters did not preserve life, they replaced it. Extreme mortality was not a malfunction of the system but a part of its financial logic. These conditions did more than extract labor, they made revolution rational. A system built on total exhaustion, irredeemable violence, and a denial of any legal or moral avenue to be fixed. The enslaved saw a colonial order that could not be reformed, only destroyed. The very brutality that made Galliffet plantations lucrative also made them unstable. When revolt erupted across the northern plantations in August 1791, including on the Galliffet estate, it was not an outburst of chaos, but a predictable consequence of a regime that removed every nonviolent path to survival or dignity. The destruction of the Galliffet holding during the Haitian Revolution symbolizes more than the fall of one estate; it remarks the collapse of the richest slave society in the Atlantic world and the birth of the first Black Republic.